right, guys, here we're going to talk about the movie Grumpy Cat's Worst Christmas Ever.
Welcome to Grumpy Cat's Worst Christmas Ever, the movie. You don't have to watch it, but I know you're going to.
2014's Grumpy Cat's Worst Christmas Ever. Lee had just seen it before.
No, I didn't even know it existed.
I had a feeling you hadn't.
Yeah.
So I originally chose this to punish you. I was like, this is going to be a movie Lee's going to hate. It's going to be this horrible thing. It'll be fun to talk about. It'll be great. But accidentally, I found something that was pretty awesome in my opinion.
I hate it. I do hate it.
I think there's a lot of things going for this that going into it,
Yeah.
I knew nothing more than it was Grumpy Cat. And I was like, all right, that's some bullshit meme things. They can't possibly have made a movie out of this. And that's semi-debatable. But Aubrey Plaza stars in this as the cat herself.
I'm in love with Aubrey Plaza.
I think that alone, I was like, okay, we have elevated to a next level
Absolutely.
thing. And it definitely leans into meme-ish culture as far as adults might think memes are.
Exactly. And like, without spoiling it, it is like self-aware in a way that I think is groundbreaking and scary, except that this is from 2014, so it didn't lead to a new era of bad things in the same way that I would have been afraid of. Had we been in 2014 talking about it, I would have been like, it's over. The culture has been destroyed by this film. No, there are parts of it that I didn't hate, and I think a lot of it is fine. I don't hate it, but it was, punishing is a good word, where I was like, yes, I do feel like my life and time have been wasted by watching this. So I think, like, we both win. It's like a strange way here, right?
Everyone wins when watching Grumpy Cat's Christmas.
Exactly.
But I thought this was going to be a literal, like oh, it's
unbearable.
a torture. Oh my God, what is this? Oh, I watched it in 17 sittings. But no, I was like, that was a bearable movie.
I put it in 1.5 speed and I still fell asleep, like that sort of thing. Yes. No. Like, as a movie, it's like kind of okay, but also feels like it is ushering in a new era of like the worst content ever, but didn't. So I'm like, oh, it's a fun little anomaly that I can't wait to dissect over at the operating table.
Exactly.
Spoiler section.
So if you've seen Grumpy Cat's Worst Christmas Ever, or don't care, fall through spoilers, and if not, pull out now.
If you need a place to rent content, you better listen. We're Cannibal Video and we eat the competition.
All right, guys, so here we are for the spoilers of Grumpy Cat's Worst Christmas, Lee's favorite movie.
Top 10, honestly.
At least.
I mean, top 20, but still, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. This movie is unbelievable, okay?
I would say that is accurate.
Let me tell you a brief story.
Please.
I start watching this. I fall into your trap. I'm like, what is he making me watch? This is the worst thing ever. Grumpy Cat, I remember the meme.
All we need is a picture of Grumpy saying something like, I had fun once, it was awful.
The Grumpy Cat. So I'm like, oh my God, they made a movie. And immediately, now I didn't watch the credits in the movie.
Okay.
So I got a fair ways in before I realized what was happening.
All right.
All right? We have to set this up exactly the right way. I'm like, what is this voice? Is Grumpy Cat female? I guess that makes sense. Why would they do this? What are they going for? Is this just the owner of Grumpy Cat, where they like, you can't use Grumpy Cat unless I'm the voice? Some like crazy bitch just wanted to do the voice, and they're going for this like Parks and Rec Aubrey Plaza type thing. I literally had that thought. I was like, this is crazy. Like this is never in 100,000 years would I have guessed that this is the direction that it's going in, and it's just ironic and self-aware, but like filmed very fine and flatly.
I have neglected this place. But it's only because I've been in so much pain.
Ugh, I'm in so much pain listening to your sob story. I wish you'd put me to sleep.
Then, Aubrey Plaza's like, with me, Aubrey Plaza, as the voice of Grumpy Cat, and I was like smacked in the face, like, what is happening?
With second billing behind me, Aubrey Plaza as Grumpy Cat.
I started checking my house for cameras. I'm like, how is he doing this? How did he create this movie just to fuck with me?
I had a similar road where I did not read her name in the credits. I didn't even look at this box. I literally, because this was a torture device, I just saw this at a thrift shop.
You were like, this'll get 'em.
For like $3 on a 50% off day, and I was like, $1.50 to kill Lee? That sounds great. And I had been holding it for a while, and then we're like,
you were like,
in the
it's
Christmas season.
Yeah.
Perfect. Let me unleash this demon on him. Yeah. And I'm watching it and I go, that sounds like Aubrey Plaza. And then like a minute later, I'm like, that is Aubrey Plaza. Like my note is, that sounds like Aubrey Plaza. It is Aubrey Plaza.
Oh, that's amazing. I don't know her voice well enough, and it doesn't sound exact. Like it sounds like it's obviously her, but her voice is not distinct enough where I was like, oh, this is Aubrey Plaza. I just thought they're trying to do some pathetic attempt at an Aubrey Plaza thing, but it's amazing.
Well, there's another person's voice that I think chimes in before you see Aubrey Plaza is Aubrey Plaza. Okay. And I was like, is that a fake Patrick Warburton?
Check out my beautiful locks. They flow like a waterfall.
freak.
And it
Yes!
is a fake Patrick Warburton. It's not real. But that led me into this thing. And then when it was actually Aubrey Plaza, I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Patrick?
Go back.
Is that you?
You're like rearranging the letters of the actor's name to actually spell Patrick Warburton, like scrambled up and
But no, like
style.
upon later speaking, I was like, that's not him at all.
No, but the first couple lines, you're absolutely right. I had the same thought. Like, this is just a bunch of famous people got together to fuck with the world.
And I'm like, it's like a Hallmark movie. I'm like people like I'm like Bruce Campbell's in a new Hallmark movie. Like people do Hallmark movies.
Yeah, you gotta get paid.
Dean Cain's in a whole shitload of them.
It's fine.
Yeah.
But that happens like 15 minutes in or whatever, and by then you know, again, I recommend skipping the credits and not watching this, and then just going in dry somehow, which is impossible.
Especially at that point.
I'm sure like the promos have Aubrey Plaza in them.
Oh, they have to.
They were all like, with Aubrey Plaza as the grumpiest cat
Yeah,
you know.
I'm sure they put all the meme shit in the trailer, and you knew it was self-referential and like fourth wall breaking and bullshit right from the joke.
Aubrey Plaza brings the internet sensation to life.
This is the best Christmas ever.
Go ahead, ignore the title of my movie.
Grumpy Cat's worst Christmas ever.
So
us not knowing that made it amazing.
So we are the only ones who experienced it the way that it was intended, and actually got the full effect, and that's why we love it.
I unironically enjoyed this movie.
Oh, you're sick bastard.
And because it's a ludicrous movie. This is like a movie, like it has elements from so many other movies, but not in like, oh, you bit their style type of way. In like oh, you did it in a weird different way. Like there's like Bill and Ted guitar things at one point. There's
Back in the black.
like weird shit. All the characters are so fake that like you never once believe you're watching people in a real slice of their life.
That's true too.
And that's what makes it good.
Hands in the air, sucker!
Oh, give me that.
Like, you know what I mean by that?
I do, and okay, so we have the rights to Grumpy Cat, but we make the worst movies ever, and we know that, and we know the kids are not down with the worst movie ever anymore, and we can't just do Grumpy Cat Saves Christmas, the Grump Saves Christmas, if you will, right? So they decide to do this meme-y way of doing it, but as I did some research, Aubrey Plaza showed up to do the voice after it was almost totally filmed. And then
somebody else was the voice?
No, they were like, we'll figure out what the cat says later. It's funny, and we don't know what to do.
That's wild.
It was the whole thing. Yeah. So like, she's quoted as saying, "Once I realized that the cat's mouth is not moving, I just decided to go for it." And they claim she like rewrote 90% of the dialogue, and just so like it has this vibe. Like I said this before I read this, but it's like Mystery Science Theater 3000ing its own movie in a way.
Yeah.
Whatever. Back to the story. Bam, 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 bam. Boom, 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 bam.
No, that's true.
Yeah, where like Grumpy Cat shows up to make fun of things that are happening, even when they're not there.
In like fun, charming outfits sometimes.
Well, there's
Anyways, since you're still watching this for some reason, I thought now would be a perfect time to see if you were interested in my new product line.
a few like rewinds and like, nope, that's not what happened. This would happen, and all this, but it touches on the outlandish, like you're saying.
Yeah.
I was very bored until at one point Grumpy Cat shows up to like make fun of Grumpy Cat, but Grumpy Cat's like has a British accent and stuff.
We may be taking some creative license with what actually happened here. Get out of here, British Grumpy Cat!
And then Grumpy Cat says, "Get out of here, fake British Grumpy Cat!" And I was like, all right, that's weird and funny in a weird way.
I laughed a few times. The part where Grumpy Cat is working like a Gatling gun of paintballs.
They don't even make paintball guns for cats. Drop departments, do! Die, bad guys! Nah!
That's
and
the
I
same
was
part,
I was like, this is genius. I love all this. I enjoyed more than I should have. And like, there's the character that plays the Paul Blart character. And like, I know him from things.
Right.
I think he was on Nash Bridges. Like, he's a character that I'm just
Character
familiar
actor,
with.
guy, TV guy.
And like, he's weird. Like, like old pervy security guard type guy.
And then there's George, aka the Lady Killer.
Well, if only I had a special lady friend to give it to.
The premise of this thing is, and what is that comedian's name that plays Santa Claus? I fucking always forget his name.
He's so corny and cringy too.
God
Russell
damn it.
Peters.
Russell Peters, yeah.
I usually work Westbrook Mall, but Santa's trying to help each other out.
He plays real fake, real Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Who like real fake Santa Claus doesn't know about, which then makes you think maybe he's real Santa Claus.
Yes. Which he must be, because he gave her a coin that is magic.
I mean, who knows?
But like his bits were hysterical. It was very short.
I hate that guy. You like that guy?
I've only seen him in a few movies, and he's okay.
Yeah.
In this, though, I thought he was really like him, like the sneaking away and like that shit. Like a lot of his stuff here really worked, and especially because the movie itself is like it's so down here that if you came in with even a mild performance, you could scream to the top.
I don't like Russell Peters, but I agree with you. This part's brilliant, where like Russell Peters is real fake, real Santa Claus, and it's like another level of the ironic meta. We know it's horrible, kids. Where like he's faking her out. Like how do you convince a kid in 2013, 2014 that this is real fake Santa Claus? You have to pretend to like hide, but just flop over the edge of the mall divider thing.
I can see you right there.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, it's not me. Oh, I'm magical.
Dumb.
Never works.
And be like, oh, it's not me, you can't see me. And she's like, I can see you. And like, ha ha ha. And that's why she doesn't think that he's right, because
there's a school of thought that's all that Batman does.
But like, no one believes in Santa Claus, so it's not just a given that she would be like, I know you're just a mall, right?
Yeah.
They have to do like another ironic, shitty layer on top of it. But again, like I'm like, that works though. That's how it would be.
It was funny, yeah.
Because then she gains the uncanny ability to hear Grumpy Cat's thoughts, I guess. Grumpy Cat's not talking, or whatever. Which must be magic because of the magic Christmas coin and the magic Christmas well. Right?
Yeah. I do think, I don't know, because we don't know how old Grumpy Cat is in the movie. In real life, Grumpy Cat dies not too long after this. Yeah. GrumpyCat is a lady, though. So
I actually knew that.
That actually, it does work out, which I don't think I knew before this. I'm like, oh, okay. I guess
because I wanted Danny DeVito or Bob Hoskins to voice Grumpy Cat, which wouldn't have made sense and would have been sexist.
I would have been okay with that, though.
Because that cat looks like a grumpy man to me, so I was like,
it's like a dwarf something or other cat. Like, it has a weird look to it, because it looks freakishly small. At certain times, I was like, oh, is this like a bad practical effect? Like, I thought, like, we can't actually run with the cat. Here, hold this stuffed animal. I'm like, that's too small. But that is the animal.
They make a joke reference to, like, a puppet at one point. And I think that there's multiple stunt cats because they couldn't use Grumpy Cat in all the different ways. Sometimes the cat doesn't look the same. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah,
I'm not a catologist.
It definitely looks different when you see it in a wide than when you see it in a close-up, because it's like the
it's a 17-year-old cat that can't run anymore, so they're like, we need it to run. Yeah. We're burying the lead, though. The highlight for me, like you were talking about, is they have a Bill and Ted like band. Yeah. And I thought those characters were really good and like well done.
That looks like it hurts. Because it does. Coming for you, paintball vigilante! As soon as I pull this arrow out of my bro's foot.
When the guy shoots himself in the foot, it's the epitome. We've debated many times where I'm like, I don't like just people falling down, but he literally says, the hunted has become the hunter. Thwap! Ah! And like fucking fucks himself up immediately.
Oh, how the hunted becomes the hunter.
When he's trying to flex, and I thought it was perfect. And like, they're funny, and their reactions are funny. I like those guys.
It's that like a lot of the people in this movie are actual actors that could act at a very high caliber, but are given this shit tier script and are playing this dumbed down version of anything. And like, it's like, okay, so what are we, like the bad guys from Three Ninjas? Okay, I know how to do that.
Goodwill Hunting doing Long Division. Yeah, exactly.
So like that's the kind of thing you're getting here.
Exactly.
And like they're screaming to me like, oh no, I am a classically trained thespian and I'm usually doing Shakespeare in the Park, but I need to pay the bills. So here I am playing this moron.
No, they're doing very restrained, very attainable, because sometimes movies overreach, but this is like all in this tiny little sandbox where everything's right there. Like it ends with she like adopts Grumpy Cat.
Surprise, it's me. Merry Christmas.
Grumpy!
Yeah, surprise.
Hey!
Oh, God.
Hey, girl. Merry Christmas.
And then maybe the divorced parents get back together. But they have this weird moment because like she has PTSD, schizophrenia as far as they're concerned. She thinks the cat can talk. But the mom just like, this'll take some getting used to.
Good one, Grumpy.
This is gonna take some getting used to.
Like it's this corny ass thing where it's like acknowledging by not acknowledging how stupid it is, right?
I thought that ending was dumb for the reason of like, okay, when they left it, she had Grumpy Cat.
Thank you so much.
Ugh, all the sweetness is killing me. Literally. Or is it figuratively? Either way, I don't like it.
So at what point did she not have Grumpy Cat to be surprised that Grumpy Cat is her gift and to expect it to be a gift when you've always had it with you? Because the guy who owned the store didn't take it back. You walked away with it then.
Well, that's just on that night when the chaos was.
I just think that's
I
strange.
assume the law was like, well, you don't own this cat all of a sudden.
I would imagine that the guy who's like, you just saved me $1 million, it would have been like, that's your cat.
No.
Shitty
It's
cat.
like a surprise party. He was like, Christmas is in 3 days, so I'm going to wrap the cat and then give it to her.
We also have a car chase. There's a lot of unrealistic bullshit in this movie.
Oh, why didn't we take the Camaro?
Let's dance, clown car.
But all of it adds into the fun.
And they tip of the hat, they lampshade it, they go like, and we're gonna smash through this like glass thing, and then the kid just gets out and like unlocks it and opens it, and she's like, we don't have the budget to snap that, and that's really cringy and bad. But I think like of all the ways you could do it, this is like the best way to do it.
Yeah, bad CG there of just like glass flying would have been terrible.
Yeah. Well, no, I like even if you know you can't smash it, because like okay, there's an old saying that's like, if your thing is shitty, one of the ways you can get around that is to joke about how shitty it is. But like a lot, there's been like a backlash because people caught on to that, and there's a backlash now where people are like, I know it's shitty. You don't have to tell me, and it doesn't make it any less shitty if you constantly mention how shitty it is. Like they say, oh, you can live tweet the movie, worst Christmas ever, or worst movie ever, or some shit like that. I'm like, oh, guys.
Well, to me, that is because this was a made-for-TV movie that aired on TV probably on Christmas Day, and they were just like, we need hype. This will be playing all weekend. We need people to tag this fucking movie.
Exactly. And like that cynicism should be played out and like not work. But I think what we're both getting at is that for the most part, it kind of is fine. It's like it's bad, but it's not like like it's the best way you could have possibly have pulled that off. It's the best way you could have done that, right?
Yeah. The worst way you could do something is that later on she like slams on the brakes and Grumpy Cat flies out of the car. Like goes into a tree in an angle that doesn't make any sense.
Yes.
Because it doesn't smash through the windshield because they don't have the budget for that. She somehow has to go out the side window and then forward.
Oh. Yes! Crystal. The crash position.
I'm like, what the fuck was that? What did I just watch?
Nice. Grumpy Cat's powers.
You ready?
Favorite line in the movie is "You're fat" to Santa, and Santa goes, "You're not exactly anorexic." And then he goes, "Ho, ho, ho," like he tries to cover that he just broke character to insult this kid.
Ooh. You're fat.
You're not exactly anorexic.
Yeah, it's good. Brilliant. Yeah. One of the cringiest things happens really early. This is when I was like, calling in like a hit on you, like I was buying a Russian assassin with Bitcoin or whatever. Because the kid goes into the mall and like greets all of the shopkeepers in their native tongues or whatever.
Hola, Alejandro.
¿Qué tal, Cristal? ¿Cómo estás? Feliz Navidad.
Which is so cringy and weird. Because, yes, one of them is Spanish, but the rest are just like weird cultural things where she's like, "What's up, bro?" and like does this thing to her phone.
Yo, Mac, what's up?
Living the dream.
Oh no!
The weird guy who works at the taco stand or whatever it is, like later on, he's like awarded taco stand veteran award or something like that.
Master of the chicken quesadilla, Taco Gigante's Employee of the Month, Alejandro Rodriguez.
And like he like thanks the taco gods or some shit. Like it was something about it was like all of it was super weird and cringy. Like that guy's whole identity revolves around working at this like taco stand.
Life is like a soft taco. If you dig inside, amitelerus, the protein of your choice, and the salsa added to your specification of mild, medium, or caliente, you find the strength to stand tall and triumph in the face of adversity.
I was like, all right, let's not.
Well, so like again with the backstory that I researched, where they had made this intending to do this, but not knowing exactly what Grumpy would say or like do or whatever to add on top. Like, it's so weird that some of those. Well, I'm like, is that intentionally bad or is that just bad? I don't know, and I can't say because the.
Yeah, no, it could go either way.
Like a lot of it is just, it's so hard. I don't want to give them too much credit, but a lot of it just seems like it's bad because it's bad. Where it's just like, we don't know what to do with this character. We're just going to do the normal thing, which is a bad thing, right?
Yeah, knowing they didn't have the Grumpy Cat, who is like 90% of the dialogue and carrying like these like conversations, it's very strange to think that they just filmed the girl go, and then what, Grumpy? Or like, what the fuck she says?
So like there was a script, but Aubrey Plaza supposedly
spun it out.
said something else, or they added stuff. I imagine like there's a lot in like the editing bay where it's like, could we get Grumpy in there? And Aubrey Plaza's like, yeah, why don't I just show up this time but then say never mind, because we can't think of anything to say. That's funny, and it's kind of funny.
That was kind of
because
funny.
Aubrey Plaza's like funny.
Never mind.
So I'm like, oh shit. But like, yes, I imagine all those things where like Grumpy's flying in as like a weird Cupid for it's Christmas, but it's Cupid cat.
Blah, blah, blah. B story. Not my line. Not my line. Not my line. Meow.
I would, but Santa and I are not on speaking terms right now.
What?
Are like just keep milking it. She's in the booth. She's recording. Just keep adding stuff.
Knowing that she was added later in this project makes me think back to, so she was on, I believe it was Colbert Report or something, and she offhandedly said, I want to play Catwoman.
I get asked questions like, if you were a superhero, which one would you want to be? And I just always think of Catwoman because I just love that character and I love the Catwoman movie.
And he hands her like cat ears and like goes like, all right, so this is your chance.
Get that out of here.
Let them know right now that you want to be.
They're making these movies.
Do it.
Come on. And she just acts like a cat. Like she's like snuggling up against him. She's like licking milk out of a saucer. Like she's acting all weird and cat like Aubrey would.
Do you know when this episode aired?
I'm sure it would be easily
like,
Googleable.
This sounds like weird cat fetish stuff.
Yeah. But like
fine.
I just picture some guy like sipping his morning
Watching
tea
TV.
and he's like, we found our cat.
Found the cat. There's several times too, and this shouldn't work on me, but again, it's like the elevated material. She ends like a sentence just going meow and does like a meow noise, and at times where I'm like, did you just remember you're supposed to be a cat and just decide to meow, you bitch? But I'm like I'm smiling. It's kind of funny.
It was
kind of good.
Again, I can't say enough. I found it hard to believe myself.
Yes.
I legitimately enjoyed Grumpy Cat's Worst Christmas.
I need to go find a suitable carrier for JoJo.
Made of gold, I presume. Meow.
I always want to cap it off by saying though that like I enjoy it now, 6 years later, 7 years later, going back and being like,
I don't know that I can watch it twice.
No. And like, had this come out yesterday, I would have been like, oh, well, the internet's just infected mainstream media culture now, where there's no more real movies. Every movie will just be a meme and like a reference to a thing, and like hello, fellow kids, we suck, right? Don't we suck? Tweet about us. It'll be like that forever, which maybe it is to some degree, but not as much as I would have feared. So like, it isn't good. Don't make every movie like this.
No.
But finding out that like, oh, remember that Grumpy Cat movie? No. Oh, what is it? It's this? That's such a pleasant surprise and crazy turn of events, right?
Especially knowing nothing going in, this was such a treat.
That's true too. You can't know any of this going into to enjoy it. So fuck you, Los Angeles.
I think it hurt me more than it hurt you.
No, I don't think that's true at all.
When that security guard is talking to it, like his mom calls him in the middle of like this heist job, and it's like, yes, I need a ride home. I need a ride home every night. Every day you drive me home.
Yeah, Mom.
Yes, I need a ride
Why
home.
you asking? Yeah.
I'm at work. Yes, I need a ride home. I need a ride home every time. Why must we have this conversation every single time?
No, that's more of that stuff where I'm like, this is intentional, I guess. All of this is intentional,
And like, it would not work with like your run-of-the-mill shit actor.
Yeah, it's
it
true.
is the fact that you have these high caliber, like, no, that is like experienced actor knowing how to chew this up and deliver this line. Because then later on, but like, oh no, Ma, I got her ride with people I know. No, you don't know them. Like his whole fucking thing.
I wonder if that's ad-libbed or if that's like a structural,
hard to say,
just outlined thing. Because part of it's unclear, but in like a funny way, where I'm like, is this a band that does crimes or criminals that have a band? Like, what am I looking at here? Like, what's happening?
I think it's criminals that want to be musicians.
Right, want to be
like,
musicians,
he
but also
can sing maybe or not. Like it's like
he says, "I'm the guy with the golden voice."
Because I'm the front man with the golden voice. Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah.
These are like SNL style character actors. Like very funny.
They were good though.
Yeah,
they were actually good.
They had some bit when they were going to their car, and he's like, yeah, we got the spot under the tree. We got the shade for once. It's night, you fucking idiots.
Could you have parked any further away?
We scored the shade tree. We never get this spot.
It's night.
No, like once you see the dynamic where I forgot his name, so I love that we're calling him Paul Blart.
Yeah, we'll go with Paul Blart.
And Bill and Ted now are on the same team together doing this this heist that is now a dog heist and all that stuff, right? Once they're together, he's the straight man being like, "You idiots, go back here and do this." He's like like they're in the wishing well, just like taking the coins, like, "Score, we got all this money."
Dude, I have like $8 here already.
Look at all the pennies, man. People are so cheap.
Hey!
Oh, hey, George. We were just coming for you.
And he's like, "Get out of there! What are you doing with the keys? We have to go!" Like, it's the whole thing. It's like, yeah, this is work.
The movie's ludicrous. The plot, like, which we didn't really touch on at all, is there's a $1 million dog in the mall for some reason at this mall pet store, and these idiots want to kidnap the dog to sell the dog so they can be rich.
Well, because like it has like the like primary or secondary villain, the fake Topher Grace, who's like, "Your rent is due and you need to sell $1 million dog to get out of this mess," and he's like, "Well, I have $1 million dog and I will get out of this mess."
I think he might be who I called Tom Cruise Kid.
Tom Cruise Kid, yes. Young, weird, shrunken Tom Cruise.
Okay, now I heard you call me a loser.
Why would I call you that?
I don't know.
Because you haven't met your financial obligations in a timely manner and I'm going to evict you?
Wait, what?
He took too many thetons or whatever, and I'm a child, and he became a tiny.
Yeah,
Tom
so the
Cruise.
reason this $1 million dog has to sell is because they're going to foreclose on his store. He's going to lose everything, and Grumpy Cat lives in the store, so we can't let that happen.
All right, Bill and Ted were going to just steal normal things, but they're like, we could just steal a dog instead and make all this money. We have a man on the inside, the cop who we fake tied up. Oh, this movie's genius.
It is. No, it's brilliant.
It shocks me so much. So they must have had it in mind to have Grumpy Cat make fun of things.
Yeah.
And just didn't know who yet. But that's, like, the key detail for me is that she rewrote the dialogue on the fly to just fuck around.
Yeah.
And that's where, like, the real, that's what puts it over the top of, like, the magic level. And it is still a bad thing that like you said, I do not want to watch it again ever.
No.
But such an interesting cultural archaeological find here.
It's almost like a play. Like it doesn't feel like a movie. You're like this is outside of its own reality. Like it's such a weird concept, and like it doesn't feel real. Like everyone feels like a parody of something else.
They handled a paintball gun.
It was a child, you idiot!
But they do, it's like seeing an entire movie of a movie in a movie.
Yeah.
This
is the movie some character is watching in a movie where you got treated to the whole thing.
We're like, can you believe that they made a Grumpy Cat movie? And you just see little snippets and you're like, this movie seems outlandish. But they do a good enough job of having it be a movie that makes sense. Because you would think at some point they're just going to give up on the movie part, or they're going to give up on the Grumpy Cat part.
Yeah.
It's just going to be like boring, whatever.
They give up on logic
pretty
like
much
in the beginning, though.
But intentionally, like Grumpy Cat's, because they do the whole tip of the hat where it's like, we're going to turn this cat into a meme, and Grumpy Cat's like, that's stupid. Let's play the real version of what happened, and then it goes back and it shows.
Her face will launch 1,000 products, everything from t-shirts to coffee mugs. After that, TV appearances.
I'm going to sell this dog, bitch, and all that stuff, whatever. But yes, very early on, you're like, well, I'm not watching reality. I'm watching some outlandish facsimile of reality.
Because the daughter even, like, she's there, she has the bad guy's keys, they cannot escape. She has a phone at this point, and she, like, calls her mom. It's like, quick!
George and those two other morons are trying to steal JoJo.
Wait, where are you?
At the mall.
What are you doing at the mall?
Get to the mall. I'm like, call the cops, you fucking asshole. What are you doing?
Cops are in on it. This goes all the way to the
mall
top.
cops.
Commissioner Gordon is like, we need that dog. Yeah.
I'm gonna put the kitty cat in the trash compactor.
He's not bluffing. He's not bluffing. He's petting me way too diabolically. Tell him, Crystal. You gotta tell him.
There's a very interesting, like, rapey bit where the guy gets bit in the dick by a dog and it, like, rips his pants. Our like Paul Blart character.
Yeah.
And then when he bumps back into our Bill and Ted characters, he, like, pokes his penis. He's like,
Ow. Good thing you didn't go commando, right?
like, good thing you didn't go commando. And I'm like, what? And I don't know if the noise was there, but it might have been. There might have been a, like,
Yeah. The actor's doing it with his mouth.
I wouldn't hold it against them. I think that's possible.
Well, if true, that's the best scene in the movie.
Yeah. PETA was all upset because he threw a snake at one point.
A real snake?
What else am I gonna do?
I don't know what. I don't know if PETA was actually upset, but I believe they should be.
Oh no, PETA can't know about this. They'll hate everything about this. The cat looks so unhappy. It's like,
Oh,
I'm a
it's so
grumpy
grumpy.
cat. How you doing?
I kind of like the grumpy cat's face. Like,
Yeah,
I don't want a cat, but I'd be like, look at that cat.
It's so funny too, because like this is a meme of its time.
Yeah.
And like memes like don't like, you know, like the Budweiser frogs is one thing. Budweiser. But that's like that was a commercial and like a real thing or something. Those are like pre-internet memes where we just had a thing or whatever.
Well, yeah, like the Chihuahua from Taco Bell.
Yeah, yo quiero Taco Bell.
Yo quiero Taco Bell. Right now, get a crunchy, cheesy Mexican pizza for just 99 cents when you buy a large drink.
Exactly. And so like this was like you know, like a meme that went mainstream for this or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's been so long. I'm like, who? Grumpy whatever, I guess. What are you doing?
Well, we're also
Like,
coming
it's
out of like
crazy.
8 years later.
That's what I'm
than the
saying.
movie.
It's been so
Yeah.
long. They're just like, what the fuck? What are you doing? Because things happen so much faster now that like like you can't like this because you're like, I love that cat, right? It's Grumpy Cat. It's your favorite, right?
Yeah.
Welcome back to Cat Ventures of the Serengeti. Shh, we're on safari.
It's your uncle.
No one is trading advice animals and Grumpy Cat memes anymore, right? There's no part of the internet where that's still a thing.
Well, things all come back in style eventually. Give it
Retro
some years.
memes?
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Oh, it's like Good Day Greg.
I haven't seen that Viking in a long time, but I like them.
Techno Viking? The Dancing Viking Man?
No, the one where it's like, they said I'd have fun something, they said. They said.
Do
Like,
that? Yeah, where the guy's rowing the trash can in the flooded basement?
Yeah.
Cause I live on the internet, welcome to my hood, where I call you out on all the things that you misunderstood. You thought that you could just scream into the void? Nah.
I love memes.
Let's take the Camaro. I don't know how to drive. Don't worry, it's like riding a bike, but everything's different.
Yeah.
that made me laugh. Like Aubrey has a way of hitting lines.
No, and like your feet can't even reach the pedals. This makes no sense. And the car stops.
Yeah.
How is this even possible? You can't even reach the pedal. Thanks, you had to say that. Is this not my movie?
Like, you had to ruin it.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
whoa, wait a minute. What is happening? Yes.
Even think about it.
Yeah, Paul Blart!
It would be very funny if there's if like the mall Santa gets tied up and he has duct tape and they pull it off, but it pulls off the Santa mustache but it goes, ah! It does the whole thing. That would be tight as fuck.
Yeah. In conclusion, this is a fucking dope ass movie that I think you can definitely play. If you have kids and don't want to hate your life a little bit, like you want to play something they could enjoy, I think this is something totally perfect for that.
I think it's bad and I found it insulting and I found it like, I never want to watch it again. But I did have certain points that I liked about it, and discussing it with you now, I think I loved it.
I think if I had to like bring a movie to like, oh, we're doing a Christmas party, everyone's bringing a movie. And for a group that had never seen this, just to like watch them react to this would be fucking crazy.
No, because, okay, so that's true. Is you can now bring this to others who have no idea about it. And they go, what, they made a Grumpy Cat movie? Are you fucking kidding? We're not watching this garbage. And you're like, yes, we are. And they'd be like, what the hell is this? It becomes crazy. Yeah, because it's not that much better that you would be like, it's
But
good.
like in fairness, almost all Christmas movies are garbage.
Exactly.
So like, this is like, if you count this in just like the pantheon of Christmas movies, this is like top tier for me.
It's so unique.
Yeah.
It's so different.
It's like Die Hard, Home Alone, Grumpy Cat's Worst Christmas, Christmas Vacation.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments below what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
If you want to support the show, head over to cannibalvideo.com, pick up some merch.
And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button.
That's all right.
Yeah, that's something.
Whatever.
Fuck these motherfuckers.
Try the visor. Aha! How did you? We are in a movie.
Cannibal Video has everything you need. A wide array of VHS and DVDs. We ate the competition, now it's only us. Our expert staff opinion